Imagine waking up in the sanctuary of your own home, only to find that your living space is slowly being annexed by a silent army of ceramic invaders. In apartment 4B, the peace was not shattered by a loud roommate dispute or a crashing window, but by a quiet porcelain coup. It started innocently enough. One single, speckled mug sat on the windowsill, catching the golden morning light. It looked harmless, even charming, but Amelia, a self-proclaimed curator of vessels, didn't see clutter. She saw convenience. To her, these weren't just objects, but essential companions for her daily life. She left a trail of mugs across every surface, like high-fired clay stowaways, unaware of the storm brewing. By Tuesday, the population had exploded. Reggie, the resident minimalist who lived for clean lines and empty spaces, watched in absolute horror as the colonization accelerated. Mugs began appearing in places they had no business being. A striped espresso cup was found lurking behind the toothpaste, watching him brush his teeth. A world's best boss's mug claimed the TV stand as its sovereign throne, mocking the very concept of order. It felt like they were moving on their own, creeping into the shadows while the roommates slept, inching closer to the bedroom doors. Reggie started to feel like a stranger in his own kitchen, outnumbered by handles and glazed clay. Every time he turned around, a new ceramic face was staring back at him from the darkness. The tension reached a breaking point during a simple Sunday routine. Reggie tried to water his prized Monstera plant, reaching for the watering can with a sigh of relief. But as he leaned in, he found two miniature mugs buried deep in the soil, nestled among the roots like some strange synthetic ground cover. It was the final insult. The apartment was no longer theirs. It belonged to the ceramic empire. The greenery was being choked out by stoneware. Reggie realized that if he didn't act now, they would be forced to abandon the living room entirely and live in the narrow hallways, nothing more than refugees. The line had been crossed, and there was no turning back from this porcelain madness. Suddenly, the bedroom door swung open. Reggie emerged wearing a pair of bright yellow dishwashing gloves, looking like a warrior ready for total war. He didn't say a single word. He simply pointed toward the kitchen with an authority that silenced the porcelain rebellion. What followed was known thereafter as the Great Cleanse. It was a whirlwind of soap and fury. Every shelf was cleared, every corner investigated, and every hidden nook was liberated from its ceramic captors. Reggie moved with surgical precision, scrubbing each mug of its tea-stained sins until the porcelain squeaked in surrender. Amelia could only watch from the doorway as her precious collection was herded back into the dark recesses of the highest cabinets. The clinking of clay against stone echoed through the halls like the sounds of a retreating army. Order was being restored, one bubble at a time, until the surfaces finally began to breathe again. As the dust settled and the surfaces returned to their original pristine state, a heavy silence fell over apartment 4B. Amelia sat down with one solitary cup of cocoa, promising Reggie that this was the end of the madness. She looked sincere, almost defeated. But as he glanced at Reggie, who kept those yellow gloves within arm's reach on the counter, you have to wonder, was the colonization truly defeated, or were the mugs just waiting in the dark? Hidden in the back of the cupboards, they sit in silence, waiting for the next moment of weakness, the next lazy afternoon, to begin their slow ceramic crawl back into the light. This battle might be over, but the war of occupation has just began, leaving the question, when will the ceramic empire make the next move? The one that will lead to a new ceramic world? Don't forget,